Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanis Coughlin from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I am usually joined by my co-host Jen, who has a family emergency at the moment, so she may drop in a bit, but I am lucky enough to have our other wonderful guest that is a permanent resident, and so welcome, Gerald from TarotStache.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us last minute.
Yeah, of course.
Super honored. Thank you. We have some awesome people in the audience as well. We have Jen. Hey, Jen. And she says, howdy, Gerald. And we have Hypnocity. Hey,
who I have to say survived her first live on my channel today.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
Well done.
Thank you. Please for reminding people to please like and subscribe. We appreciate that. And a big hello to Kaylee. Welcome, Kaylee.
Yeah.
Fogo Pogo or Woo Woo Wonderment, her channel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we have had some interesting energies. They're starting to release a little bit, but they've been definitely interesting over the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
The weekend there, I don't know about you, but I just felt like it was really heavy over the weekend. Now, part of it was the weather here.
Okay.
Part of it was we had a lot of thunderstorms and stuff here, so it was somewhat that. How was it in your neck of the woods?
We had very nice weather overall that I can recall.
Mm-hmm.
The energy for me was fine. I am often contrary to what other people are feeling.
Okay.
So I actually got out of the house a little bit. That was very sweet. But that being said, particularly on Sunday, I was very focused in getting some stuff accomplished. There was almost a zero in on it. So
okay, yeah. I had that today, actually. I seemed to get a lot accomplished today, which was great. And I feel like I had the go-to to do it, which is awesome too.
Yes.
Over the weekend, I was very sleepy, it seemed. I felt very sleepy. So that's what I mean when I say that, sort of that heaviness feeling. So yeah. And it looks like Hypnocity had big storms 20 miles north of Seattle. So yeah, there's lots of that going around right now, you know, whether it's that time of year where we start to get a little bit like it's summer, but we start to get a little cooler and then it starts to create some stuff and, you know.
Yes. Well, and last week I actually woke up and I talked about it on a show. I had 3 consecutive days where I woke up having the exact same dream.
Yes, dreams have been very big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's part of my sleepiness over the weekend, I think, now that I think about it. Because I was waking up like in the middle of dreams. And they didn't feel finished. So it was like I had to get up and sort of meditate for a little bit to kind of, I don't know whether it was like finish the dream or like
just sort of tie off the ends of that so it didn't unravel without your attention. Yeah.
It's like I needed that to just come back to, you know, like I wasn't quite back in my body or something. So Kaylee says, been nauseated and exhausted since last night. Yes, the full moon. So that brings us to our next thing, right? We've got a super blue full moon tonight because we've got 2 in the month. I think that's what it is, right?
This is the 4th in a season, perhaps.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's probably it. And then it's closer. So the supermoon thing is that it's appearing closer to the earth than usual. So, yeah. So definitely anybody that's really in tune with the moon energies, you're going to feel it. And that's probably why I was feeling like super motivated today, because I tend to feel either really motivated or really teary. It depends on the month. So it's like there's an excessive energy that comes in for me. So it depends on how that shows up.
Yeah, and full moons are a great time to release things that aren't serving you, because
Yeah.
the whole idea of that is we have the full moon and then we are waning. So that idea of releasing things, it's great. And you want to pull things to you for a new moon, both equally powerful. It's just how you phrase the working that you're doing, if you do
That's
work.
right.
So
All about intention, right?
yes, very much so.
Yeah. So Jen says it's been a wild day at work, full moon or boss. I would say the full moon can definitely do that. You're in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Healthcare. I remember being in healthcare and working in the hospital office for the home care, and we would be very busy on Monday because all the stuff from the weekend, and a full moon, crazy time.
Yes.
Crazy time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Hypnicity says, my cancer shell is cozy.
There you go.
There we go. Hello, Maria is grateful. We are grateful for you, Maria. Thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a look at our Schumann resonance. And then we're going to, Gerald and I decided we would pick a couple of cards for the collective for this week. Since we don't have Jen's, neither of us are human design specialists like Jen. So we thought we would do something a little different tonight.
Yeah.
Crazy energy in the skies. Yes. There is a lot of galactic activity right now too. So that's kind of interesting. So here's our Schumann. So you can see here, we've got this big thing over the weekend, right? That would have been Saturday. Sunday, not as bad, but still some big spikies. And look at today. We've had all of this. So we're up at 47. This was more in like the 90s, 80s, 90s over the weekend. And we had a couple spikes that were 90 here yesterday. So lots of stuff happening there. In terms of our solar flares, not as much. Like we didn't have any X class. We still had M classes on and off all weekend, but lower end M class, which is kind of nice because we've had a fair number of X class. And this shows the highlights there of the last couple of weeks. And so that's kind of interesting. So we had a huge geometric storm, right, last week at this time, which was impactful for the week. And then it goes to the 8th, which there was a G2. And that was in July. So this is impactful for last week, from last week. So.
Wow.
It's, yeah. And there's just a lot happening.
Yes. A whole lot of energy in many places in the world. Natural phenomena are happening.
Yeah.
As well as social, political, lots of things are coming to fruition. So
definitely,
this is one of those times that the advice that I have for people is definitely remember to hydrate yourself, because if you're dehydrated, you can't be thinking clearly or as clearly, and it adds extra stress to your body.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure we need to do that. The other thing is they're making, see, where are we here? Japan earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. Yeah, and I think some of the big psychics are predicting quite a few of those, including a big volcanic eruption at some time this month. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that plays out. So, Mother Earth is reacting. She is indeed. And I'm just picking a couple cards here. And we'll say a big hello to Shem. Hey, Shem. Thanks for joining us. Nice to see you. And Hypnicity is saying, yes, it's Mother Earth is reacting. Maria is saying, yeah, lots of flooding around the globe. Yeah, a form of cleansing, right? From Mother Earth. Yes. Lots of flooding.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
let's see what the guides have to say. Oh my goodness, yes. Okay.
I love it. Things that you want to hear our card readers say. Oh my goodness. But that's a good, that could be a good one. So
it I mean, it just depends how you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm getting at here. Yeah. Okay. So what I got for you is change is coming.
Yes.
I'm here to guide you through this exciting transformation. It's a time of joyous opportunities. So if we can look at it as a time of joyous opportunities, that would be lovely, because that would help us to embrace the future.
Ah, yes.
Right? Stepping into the future with an open heart. In saying that, there may be a few things that we need to let go. Let it go. So when we have transformation, oftentimes there are things that no longer serve. So this situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so you can embrace the future. So really, this is really and launching a journey. So some of you will be traveling. This might also be a spiritual journey, depending on your situation. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes when we have that kind of transformation, it requires us to communicate. And we have a little heart here. I don't know if you can see that little heart there. So communicating with love and compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And they're reminding us to be the real you, because that's where the power is. That's where our power is. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. Mm-hmm. So you see all those, what I'm also hearing is that there's a lot of download stuff coming in. It was funny. I had a download last night. It was like in one of my wakeful periods overnight, and it was almost like I could see light codes coming down as I was doing it. Yeah. So it was really an interesting kind of visual on me. It was almost like this, but only light codes, and only they were coming down like this into my crown. And I was like, this is a first. All righty.
Did you notice which, were they going clockwise or counterclockwise? Do you remember that?
I want to say clockwise.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm assuming that what I'm hearing is correct. I don't actually remember, but I think they're telling me it was clockwise.
And I'm going to ask the best chatters, why would that matter? In which direction? So just putting that out there as you show your next card. So
yes,
just seeing if people have ideas.
Yes. I'm anxious to hear what they have to say about that, because we're going to end up flying free after this, okay? But it's going to take some time, right? So you really need to do this, be your true self, because that's freeing. That's very freeing to just be you, okay? And don't resist the changes that are coming.
Well, I'll gently push back on that. You can resist them. It will just take longer for you to deal with them if you resist them.
Yes, so. That's the thing. You can.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a bit plugged in, and they're being a little pushy, going, Gerald, up your game, because
So what would they like to say?
For help. So
what would they like to say? Do they have stuff to say? You're welcome.
Well, I have pulled some cards which I think relate very nicely to what you have. I have the lightning strike. This is what's happening in a lot of places. It's getting our attention.
It is.
And one of the beautiful things is I oftentimes think of lightning strikes as it's a form of connection from two areas that wouldn't normally connect. And then there's this great pulse of energy that comes through. Those could be light codes as well for you. That's part of what I'm also experiencing. The lightning striking, it is one of those things, for entertainment purposes only, but oftentimes we would have a lightning strike and it would start a small fire in a field, to which would make the field fertile again. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So they're very much transformation or transformative energies.
I also got the observatory part of what is it's interesting. It's like we're in the observatory. We've just seen this happen.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this sense of connection, and I also feel there's an importance of taking time to observe what is going on. Because you showed that card with the little heart on it.
Mm-hmm. Communicate freely.
Yeah, communicate freely, observe freely, and observe frequently, because oftentimes how often do we pause long enough to go, what's going on? What's going on? How often do we get a different perspective? The last card I got was Merchant, which actually is an interesting card, because for me, it is the merchants oftentimes are buying and they're selling. There is an exchange. So part of being present is it's almost like I need to be able to fulfill my part in the balance of things.
Yeah.
If somebody asks for help, I freely give, I am helping to have that balance and being able to move around and shift a little bit. Merchants don't always stay in one place. They're oftentimes, they have to move around.
And the other thing about that, is there like a heart in the middle of the sky? Is that what I see?
There is a circle.
Oh, like a circle. Oh, okay. Because I saw it as a heart in the galaxy. So for me, it was very galactic when I saw that card. The message from me was, we're here.
Yeah.
We're here to support you.
Yep.
So that's awesome. So we have a bunch of comments now.
Yay.
So Shem just feels blah. Hypnocity, deja vu. We've all been here before. Some just don't remember. That is true. And talking about the Russian volcano. Yeah. Big hit of ahas over the weekend. Yeah. So that would be like a download, right? When we get that.
Lightning strike.
Yep. Definitely.
That's
undoing versus doing. Yeah. Is one always aware they are receiving a download? No. I would say no. Unless you're sensitive, they could be coming in and you wouldn't know it. Because it's like energy that comes down. So often we'll feel it, or we'll feel some symptoms of stuff as it comes in, but we may not always sort of be aware because we might be busy doing life. And that's
a beautiful question. That's a beautiful question. Maria is grateful.
Yeah, for sure. Function versus clear replace function. Enter function versus clear replace. That's for your clockwise versus counterclockwise. Yes. Don't be surprised. Plot twists are inevitable.
Yeah.
And T. Lynn is here. They'll not be ignored, so deal with it now. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Letting off steam, recharging. Here, observe without judgment or expectations. That has been huge in my life lately. Yeah, so your observation there, the observation card that you had, for sure.
Yeah. And that's a really powerful thing. I know some of the best people, or some of the most successful people, say we set up routines and structures to help us do the work that we need to do. And part of that setting up the routines and the structures is to build in times to review and to observe. Is that routine and that structure, that reflection, is it working the way we need to? What are some tweaks that we need to have?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely in business, we do that, right?
Or we should. Successful businesses do it.
Yes, correct.
I'm talking really fast. My apologies. I'm like,
No, it's okay. You're channeling some of this. It's awesome. Hello to Brenda. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Amanda. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you had a lovely walk in the woods. That's awesome.
Nice.
Brenda's feeling very emotional. Yes, well, that is the full moon.
Well, and I want to say something about that because
Yeah.
in a conversation that I was having this morning, some people were told they were too sensitive or too emotional,
Yeah, it's not
and
too.
that's not true. That's not true. That what that is it's the people around you are not as sensitive or as emotional as you. And this is that opportunity if we need to reframe that
Yeah. You
because
noticed I
that's
changed what I was saying.
yes, I
It
did.
was,
I did. I
yeah.
did. And there's this beauty in um why are we judging it? Why aren't we just observing?
Yeah.
It's like it'd be great for people's self-esteem for someone to recognize the sensitivity and the emotion that someone has.
Hmm.
It's like, I really like that you're so emotional. Full stop, and let that soak in, because
Yeah.
that's a superpower, because not everybody's like that.
Yeah. And don't we crave that from people? Like people that are not tuned into their emotions?
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to have that connection, right? So if someone's
Yes.
tuned into their emotions and they're emotional people, then we crave that because you're able to make that emotional connection with them. If someone's
Yes.
cut off from their emotions, we can't. So when you're saying it's a superpower, absolutely. Right?
And
Very
just with
much.
every superpower, people around you don't necessarily know how to deal with it.
Hmm.
So I think there's a beauty in that yeah, the lightning strike of emotion strikes people differently,
Definitely.
and there's a lot of beauty in that. And what has to happen is this ability to allow space to let the dust settle a little bit.
Yeah.
To, of course, the first thing is to make sure everyone is safe, but then just sort of wait, see how it settles down, and then there can be clarity.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. And I think it's also, I mean, we're talking about emotion being a superpower. And I think it's important to note that we want to take note of our emotions and allow ourselves to experience it. That doesn't mean projecting it all over everybody else. I just sort of want to make that sort of
that's
distinction.
very clear. Yes. It
Yeah.
it also means that the emotions are an indication of the energy that you have around something.
Yeah.
We need that balance of the emotions with our environment and with our thought process. So you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. But then not judging ourselves for feeling it. Because,
Yeah.
how many times, and the other thing that I've always found this really um comforting is that we don't have to be just one emotion at a time. We can be multiple emotions at a time. Sometimes you can be angry and sad and hurt and relieved and all of those things all at once,
Yes.
right?
And that's okay.
That's right. You don't even have to necessarily define them.
Correct.
You can just
Yes.
feel into them and allow, and whatever happens,
Mhm.
happens.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but like if I'm really mad, I cry. If I'm sad, I cry. Sometimes when I'm super happy, I cry. It's all just a form of expression of the energy that comes with the
Correct.
emotion, right?
Correct.
And of course, me, I'm a crier, so everything processes
Well,
well.
yeah, that's how you process. That's how
Yeah.
you process. Yes.
Mhm.
Mm.
And we have Kylie here from Australia. Hey, Kylie.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. Hypnocity says, I prefer subtle downloads. Yeah.
Good
Sometimes
luck
I
with that.
do. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's, it depends. Because if I'm sleeping and you want to give me some downloads, go right ahead. Because it's probably not going to bother me and you're going to. So, like, that's okay. But if it definitely with ease and grace, if we're awake and doing stuff,
Yes.
that's helpful.
Yeah. And the downloads for me are always, if I get a download, I typically need to take a nap. So
Yeah.
that's my restart. so that all of the information goes in the proper ways.
Kind of like a defrag when we have a nap.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Defrag for your computer, right? It reorganizes where things are in the computer.
Yep.
This computer. And Kaylee says lots of ear ringing over the last few days, times where I've just had to stand and brace for full body chills. Yeah. Like reverse hot flashes. I've been taking numerous, momentary tropical vacations.
Well, it's interesting Kaylee says that, because yesterday there was I think I was laying in bed and it was like, there is a ringing in my ear and it's not this worldly. It was very interesting. It's like, ooh, okay.
I actually, now that you say that, I did have one time. I do get the odd ringing, but that doesn't tend to be a symptom for me. But I had one time I went, whoa, that's loud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just in my right ear. It was not in my other ear.
Me, it was just my left.
There you go.
Just depends, right, where we're getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Lots and lots coming in. Maria said that the walk sounds magical. Amanda, thank you. Mm-hmm. And that's my sis. Hey, Annie. Brenda says, thank you for pointing out. It helps about the emotions and how we don't need to judge.
Yeah. You're welcome.
What else are we doing here? Wow, emotional is a superpower. Yeah, I don't think many of us think of it that way. Mm-mm. Right? Mm-mm. Jennifer says, yeah, crying's my jam. Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah. Sending lots of love and light to Hypnocity. Lost a friend last Monday. Our condolences, sending you love and light and healing to all involved.
Yes.
And big hello to Patricia. Hey, Patricia. Nice to see you. Oh, your tinnitus returned, did it? Replay the woo-woo show, see if it works again. Okay, and let me know if you need help. Or Kaylee, of course. And Lisa, you've been getting ringing in your right ear. Yep, that's coming. And Jen's been getting it in both ears for 50 years. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a release. And I had it for a few years. I couldn't cry and needed to. Recently, the floodgates opened, though connected with a big healing. Excellent.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Yes. Very good. We're happy for you.
Yeah.
It does feel amazing when you have that big release, not during, after. I had one of those recently as well, and it just is very cathartic. It's very you just feel really light after because you release all that density.
Well, and isn't like Lammas, isn't that the time that the Nile would flood?
Yes.
And so it would bring in all of this moisture, and so that things could flourish. Think of it that way. It's this idea of is that flooding has to happen, so it's powerful.
So that's it. We're all just emulating the Nile.
There you go.
With our tears.
Mm-hmm. There's a song in there somewhere, I'm
sure. And a big hello to Imelda. Hello. Awesome. Yeah. So what do we think? Do we want to pick a card? So Jen has the deck, so I picked another deck. Do you want to pick a card, or do the guides have something more they want you to say? Because you were checking on that, I think, and I interrupted.
Yeah, no.
They're probably rolling their eyes at me.
Oh, well, how is that different than what they normally do?
Yeah, they always do. It's not different at all.
I think I would say part of what I'm hearing from the guides is there is this beauty, and we have to understand that the timelines are all a little weird and wonky. And with this comes, we're not the only species that has this adjustment period.
No.
Okay, so everything goes through this adjustment period. and that's okay. Some of us honor it in a different way. Some of us fight against it. And when we lean into it, there's an opportunity to, it's a transition from one aspect to another. And whether those are biological or if they're man-made or being made, it doesn't really matter. It is part of our progression as being alive. That idea of release and that lightning strike tends to be very potent right now, because people, it's almost like people are, I need an image that I can use. It's like having a magnet, and you're moving a magnet close to metallic things. And when sometimes the magnet is close, some things get drawn to that magnet sooner than others, and that magnet will move and adjust. I think it's one of those things to pay attention to that. And part of what the magnet is what we're choosing to focus on. So, because are we choosing to see? Are we choosing to see our emotions as a superpower? Are we choosing an opportunity to help someone as a great opportunity to do and connect? Are we choosing those glimmers, things that are lining us up for joy, or are we choosing those things that make us sad and angry? I'm not saying one is better than the other. The idea is how there's, that magnet, we get more of that. We get more of what we draw our attention to. So,
absolutely. Just like, what Hypnocity says, right?
Yes.
Where focus goes, energy flows.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so it is that idea is like, I love this because I'm going to do another Glimmer Globe thing toward the end of the year.
Why don't you tell people what that is, your Glimmer Globe thing?
Glimmer Globe is an idea. I've got a playlist on my channel. The idea, a glimmer, is something that is a moment when your mind, body, and soul are all connected and things feel good for you. Things are lined up. You have a response that is affirming rather than a trigger, which is oftentimes seen as negative. Glimmers, let's face it, glimmers are triggers for positive things, but I'm trying to move away from that. So glimmers are out there. And when we focus on those things, the glimmers, the times that in that moment we're like, this feels really nice, really small. They could also be really huge. It doesn't matter, just so long as you collect them, because that's the magnet that's drawing the attention. So did I miss anything with that?
No, I think that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it's great. I think that's awesome. We did something similar in our house one year. We had a little box. I was a toll painter for a while, so I had painted this box that had hearts all over the top of it. And we were putting in everything we were grateful for. So that would be like a glimmer, right? It's like a nicer way of putting that in. So I was grateful for this activity. I was grateful for this that happened. And we would put it in there, and we went back and looked at it over the course of the following year. Right? We went in and looked at it.
Yeah. And I think Linda G did something about glimmers recently. I don't remember with whom. So it's out there. It's an important thing.
For sure.
It's an important thing because where we put our attention, and it's a gratitude journal. So
but it's a beautiful way because it's sparkly. Right? Glimmers are sparkly.
Yes, they are.
So it's a lovely way of doing it.
Yeah. And Kaylee's like, there's also a song.
There's
somebody who, Kaylee wrote a song, and so Jeffrey is on that playlist. Jeffrey is singing her song.
Beautiful.
Well, I'm not singing it. It's more of a spoken word.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. And Maria's.
Oh, Maria says she's watched that playlist.
Oh, thank you. And I have to say, in my coven, we celebrated Lammas a couple of weeks ago, and what we did, hi Diane G.
Hi, Diane.
What we did was I had the activity. I was helping to do the ritual, and because it's in Wiccan or pagan traditions, Lammas or Lunasa is the first of the 3 harvests. So we created glimmer globes for it during our ritual because we're gathering those things. It's not necessarily what we've planted, meaning I've put out crops, but I've also set my intentions for what I want in my life. So, and it was really powerful. And I happened to use Kaylee's song that she sent me as a start for magic working. Someone challenged to rewrite Silver Bells for Glimmer Globe. So I did. Yes, that's what she did.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
that sounds wonderful.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah. So. Cool. So we have a few minutes. Do you want to have a discussion?
I got this this Divine Doors.
Okay.
And it's a little thing. It says, intuition, simple, complex, words of pain or words that heal. You come to know truth by the way that it feels. The
Very
idea
nice.
of, that's a great little thing.
Yeah.
What'd you pick?
I picked Be True to You, which I had in the other deck as well. So it's something about really tuning into who you are. Well, not just who Gerald is, but who each of you is. Who are you?
Isn't that something that the was it the caterpillar said in Alice in Wonderland? Who are you?
Oh, right. That's right.
So
yeah, this one is Be the Real You. But yeah, that was the other one that was in our thing. Be true to you. I think that maybe, we've been talking a little bit about that. So who are you?
Yeah.
How do we define that? I mean, I think, oftentimes we look to our profession to describe who we are.
Yes.
We look to activities that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love this song. Let Your Freak Flag Fly.
Yes.
I was in a production of Shrek.
Nice.
I played the fairy godmother and was in this particular song. It was fun.
Nice.
Big dance number.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Shima's I am.
I am. I am that I am. We are that we are.
Well, and that who are we? Part of that is we need to also have observation time. Who am I is really hard to get in the moment. Oftentimes we can see it. Who have I been?
Mm-hmm.
I was a manager. I was an employee. I was a consultant. I did all of these things.
Yeah.
Is that true? Your job does not oftentimes define who you are.
Mm-hmm. Lost in work. Whoops. Mm-hmm. I'm lost in work. I am. Mm-hmm. Brenda says, I don't know. Tell me. That's an inside job, Brenda.
There you go. It is. That's a good one. Yeah.
I'm a loving, caring person. Indeed you are, Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is a good point. When I tap into my childlike joy, I find I tend to be my truest self.
That's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice.
Who I was then has nothing to do with who I am now. Exactly. That is true. I'm a very different person than I was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think we're different every day, though, right? Every time we learn something new, it creates a change. And we learn something every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
And, you know, thinking about who we are, is it something that Jen says about I'm experiencing anger rather than I am angry?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Wording has a lot to do with it.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Yes.
We can't separate chat. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think I might fall into that category. Childlike joy. She knew all about me with ease. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, Anne.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that doesn't make me feel good. I'm sorry that that's going on for you.
Yeah. We need to change that, sis. How are we going to do that? Let's chat.
That is your sister, so you can say that to her, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at the behavior. Or I'm not angry at you, but that what you did triggered me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I feel X. I have anger because I'm triggered because. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is, you know, who people are. There's a lot of different ways to explore that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think about are people, when do they most feel, the word connected comes in, when do they most feel connected to the flow? That I think is a really important thing. When is your intuition lined up? Bye, Patricia.
Bye, Patricia. Thanks.
So it's that idea of is when are you, when do you have that, if people if know what I'm talking about with that flow, where I'm doing something, I'm really enjoying it, time and space seems to fall away, I get so caught up, I'm in that rhythm. There's a lot of beauty in that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and people experience that flow in many, many different situations. I mean, there's some people, you know, surgeons who are doing surgery get into that flow because they are so intuitively connected, and what they've been working on is lined up, and it's really powerful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think it really helps to love what you do.
It does. It does.
You know, when I was saying that there are people who can't separate jobs from who they really are, and I said that might be me, and I think it's because I am my job, and my job is me.
And you're happy with your job, and you're happy with
I
what
love
you
my
do.
job.
Yes.
Yes, and so that's a good thing for me, right? Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily the case if you don't love your job.
Correct.
I'm blessed that I love my job. I love what I do. It brings me joy. It lights, fills my cup, right? Not everybody has that. And that's okay. We just need to fill our cup in other ways if that's the case, right? Because our energy is kind of like a bank account. We got to put in the good stuff as well. If we have bad, we got to put in more good. Yes, exactly. Do what you love, the money will flow. Yeah. Which job?
Don't you
I
do
have
all
a few.
The things?
I do a lot of things. Yeah. I love most of what I do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Admin stuff is not as creative. So it's not the same energy for me going into admin stuff. When it is creative, there are times when it's creative. But I have to say, I probably use my intuition with a lot of what I do.
Sure.
So that helps to keep it
Mm-hmm.
Light and creative for me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So.
Well, and that's also something to, who are you? If you rephrase it and ask the question, who am I? That has a different feel about it.
Yeah.
Not the cup filler, but the spiritual healing stuff. That's the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The spiritual healer stuff is definitely the one that fills my cup the most.
Yeah. I would also imagine the idea of the I could never remember the prayer. Hopo,
Ho'opono. Ho'oponopono. Yeah.
Now you can't say it. I'm so sorry.
Ho'oponopono.
There you go.
Ho'opono. Ho'opono.
So, but that's also if you are a person who likes to do intention work, you could actually look in a mirror and do that.
Super powerful.
Yeah, very powerful. And Louise Hay did a lot with that as well.
She did, yeah. In the You Can Heal Your Life. I don't have my book here today, but the You Can Heal Your Life thing, there's a lot of that kind of thing that you can do. The other thing, the other one that I use for intention setting is 72 Names of God.
And I remember you. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
There's a number of those as well, which is mantra work or like manifesting, but also there's some in there about self stuff, releasing self-judgment and those kinds of things. So those are fun to look at as well and use. I use those.
So what advice would you give somebody who is trying to figure out who they are?
I think I would have them make 2 lists. One list would have all the hats they wear. And I don't mean just work hats.
Correct.
So like, yes, Carol, thank you. That's the one. I would say, so for me, it would be spiritual healer, energy healer, or Celtic Shamanic High Priestess, Crystal Master, Galactic Ambassador, but it would also be mother, wife, daughter, sister, all of those things that we do, right? Could also be podcast producer, like listing all of those things that make you who you are. The other list would be adjectives that you would use for yourself.
Okay.
To describe yourself. Like we heard earlier, loving, caring. But it might also be fearful. Or you could do, what was the one we were talking about earlier?
Emotional.
Before we came on. Imposter syndrome.
Oh.
So insecure, right? You might be insecure. You might be, lacking confidence or something like that. Ah, yes, friend. Another one for title, for hats. Yeah. So I would do that because it gives you a good sense of who you are, but you also need to look at the spiritual aspect of yourself. Absolutely. So really what we're doing is looking at the 3 aspects, right? We have our physical aspect. So you might say, I'm a female, I'm a woman, the physical kind of thing. That's more like your hats that you wear. And then the mental emotional is kind of more like those adjectives that we might describe ourselves with, related to feelings.
Yeah. I might also suggest people making a list of what people say you are.
Yes.
And the reason I say that is, and if you have people who you trust, you can ask them genuinely. It's like, what are some words that you would describe me, or what do you see as my strengths? But notice what people are saying about you, because you may not believe it, but other people see it in you, that
Yes.
still exists. You may not believe it, but that is how others experience you. And that's an opportunity to go, people say I'm this way. I don't see myself as that way, but that's okay.
Mhm.
But because I may not believe it. Just because I don't believe it doesn't mean it exists.
It doesn't
It means it
exist.
exists. It exists, even though
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's a good point. We don't always see all the way around us, right? All aspects of self.
Yes. Yeah. And that takes a lot of courage to be able to do.
Love you too, Brenda. Thank you. We're happy to help.
Yeah.
He has the magic hearts.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Loving and always giving.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would be, and it's a great exercise for any of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's part of that self-reflection piece.
Yes.
So 3 lists. One, you'd make a list of it, what people say, and then one, the hats you wear, and one, the feelings that make you.
Yeah. And let's face it, because this can be very deep work.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be very not deep work. But that's why there are professionals out there to assist you and to support you while you're doing that. Not everybody is fortunate to have friends that they can call on as a way of understanding, because it's an important thing. So there can be people around that offer assistance and to support you.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oponopono.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I say it in a little bit of a different order. I'm usually, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you. But really, it's having all of those together in whatever order is quite
That's the powerful thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
true. A lot of people feel competitive or take opportunity to prove themselves right. Yeah. We're all right and we're all wrong. So we just trade spaces about that all the time.
Yes.
And it's all about perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, hello, Betsy.
Hi, Betsy.
Nice to see you. Thank you. Yeah, this is a nice one too. I'm accepting of love, wealth, and abundance now. Definitely.
Yeah.
Bye, Shem. You too.
So did you pull a card before I pulled out the Divine Doors?
Yeah, we've had the conversation. It was the true self.
Oh, yeah.
True you. Yeah.
Okay.
We did that. We did the thing.
Sometimes I don't remember what I say.
Well, because you're channeling.
Sometimes I am. Yes. Yes.
That's the excuse I use. I was channeling. I don't remember.
Wow. Yeah.
Most times I am, though.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times I am too.
Yep. It's kind of who we are and what we do.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yes,
so there's one thing that I want to mention about that.
Yes.
It's great to do the self-reflection on who we are and who we think we are and who other people think we are. There's also an acceptance of that that needs to join that, right? Because even if there are things that we perceive as not as favorable, they are still part of who we are.
Yes.
And sometimes because we have that, we're able to do something else. So being accepting of all aspects of self,
yes,
is the next step.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
It's a very, very good point, because we have these skills, and when the opportunity is there and I need that particular skill, I am grateful for that. So there's an opportunity for all of that. How do we use our superpowers appropriately?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sonia. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
I agree. Accepting how I am.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It doesn't mean we are resigned to that, but it's good to be aware of it, right? And accepting that that's where we're at, because we are constantly evolving.
Yes.
And be okay with being perfectly imperfect. Absolutely.
Yeah. And if I don't honor, and if I don't see myself clearly, then how am I going to evolve? How am I going to be different? So
we have to do the self-reflection. It's an important part of all of that.
Yes.
And I also want to ask, what is perfect anyway? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So being okay with being perfectly imperfect. Absolutely, because there is no perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Definitely.
So we had a 5 minute. So we don't have Jen here for the 5 minute thingy.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is pick a self-care card.
Great.
Because that's kind of like, we have the home play that we do every week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pick that. And then I'd like to just do a quick overview of the Galactic Shaman program because it starts this weekend.
Ooh, exciting.
So I'm excited. Okay. We have Nourish Your Temple. So watching what we eat this week. Okay. So eating healthy. They're telling me to have people try something healthy that's new. So if you've never had whatever, kiwi, or you've never had mango, or you haven't had bok choy. I don't know why those examples are coming, but if you've never had something like a vegetable or a fruit, try something new.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Let's see. What else do we have? Let's pick 3 because I think they're much shorter than the usual. Oh, no, I didn't mean another 3, but okay. So use your hands. We're having 4. Use your hands.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe even getting into gardening, or this picture is of pottery, right? Using your hands, getting into the thick of things. Music. Awesome. Listen to, dance to, sing. The third one is alone time. So that would be your self-reflection time for what we've been talking about. Awesome.
Yep. And
so those are our things.
All of those things without judgment.
Yeah.
That'll
dance like nobody's watching thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you've got music that you like and you're dancing around, go for it. Sing as loud as your little heart to your little heart's content. And in that alone time, you can appreciate, I did that. That was hard for me and I did it. Mm-hmm. Or I want to do more of that. I need that time for processing and unzipping the file that has been downloaded into my brain.
Exactly. Yep.
And part of doing that is, we've got to take care of our physical being. Part of that taking care of your physical being is to use your hands, do physical things. Don't do it all up here.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Don't we just overthink if we do it all up there?
I've never overthought anything in my entire life.
Well, I have. I think the last time I did that was about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, 30 seconds.
Yeah. But, I had a therapist at one point who had actually said, when you're feeling really panicked or you're feeling not sure where to go, clean out a junk drawer. Mm-hmm. Because it's something small that where things go and it works.
Yeah, she just said lies, Gerald, lies. Yes, it's true, right? Because it focuses you on one thing.
Yes. And that's actually, I think, for me, a lot of times my high priestess has reminded me the importance of, for my magic work, to add something physical with it, because I need to move it from here and here out here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good point. Very good point. So I can't believe it's been an hour.
It's been great.
Yeah, wow. Absolutely. We have the best chatters, don't we?
They're do. Amazing. We do.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. So if you guys will permit me, I'm just going to share the Galactic Shaman program. I'm super excited about this.
Please.
So it's a brand new program that I'm offering. The guides have been bugging me to do it for a long time. And I've just launched it. So first class is actually this coming Sunday. Mm-hmm. And so basically, have you always wanted to connect with your galactic guides? Why not come and do it with us? So it's also basically a lot of galactic healing modalities. It's really about connecting galactic energies with earth energies and doing some journey work, with that, doing definitely communication and that sort of thing with our galactic brothers and sisters, and, being that channel. Also acting as a galactic ambassador, right? So that's helpful too. Working on things like light language and light codes, sounds, colors, geometric shapes, and all of that stuff. All of that helps to jump into that. So here's a list of the things that you're going to learn. So the role of the Galactic Shaman, of course, galactic history, galactic beings, and the Galactic Federation. So I work with Commander Ashtar. So we're going to get a little bit of stuff from him. An extended version of the chakra energy system, because the standard 7 is one thing, but there's more to that. And so we're going to look into that. Some channeling basics, energy management, and daily rituals to boost your frequency and your intuition. Getting to know your galactic team and your galactic lineage. And then crystal healing, sacred geometry, astral travel. There's going to be some journey work to ET ships and maybe some other worlds, depending on, it'll all depend on the person in the course. Some of the healing modalities will be like Aqualead, level 1, 2, and 3, or masters. Nukti, which is a Pleiadian energy. Nigera, which is Syrian energy. There's going to be etheric surgery, and then an Octorian healing modality, as well as some Venusian healing techniques. So it's a jam-packed year. Super excited to get that started. And we've got a number of people signed up already, so that's fun. And they're awesome. So it's going to be a great year.
So let me ask you this, Tanis. Who would be a good person to do some more exploration of the Galactic Shaman program, and who might it be for?
Somebody who wants to add tools to their toolbox if they're already a healer, because these are unique tools. So if you're a Reiki practitioner, a Reiki master, and you want something different, you want to expand on that, you want to do a little bit more,
sure.
And you have a really good connection with the galactics, right? Or you feel like you're a starseed, you long to go into the stars, those kinds of things. So you don't actually have to be a healer already for this program, because the Aqualead is very much sort of going to build the energy for you. So you don't have to be a healer already. Aqualead would be equivalent kind of to doing the Reiki stuff in terms of that. But the Aqualead is an Andromedan energy. So it's galactic and earth. So it's a great way for us to make that connection between the earth and the galactic energies.
Very nice.
So, yeah, anybody who's really connected to that galactic stuff. So whether it's, you've always wanted to discover that lineage within you, you've always wanted to, I don't know, some people they just love looking up into space and they just know they're connected. Right. So it could even be somebody like that, or it could be somebody who's really into it and they know who they are galactically, but they just want to add these healing modalities and delve into it with like-minded people. because we're also going to create a community and a group chat on Facebook and stuff so that we can all chat over the course of the year. So that's the
wonderful.
other thing. Yeah. So it's I'm looking forward to that. What I don't know what else I've got going on this week. What have I got going on this week? I also have open mic with Ramsey on Friday. So that'll be fun. And then, of course, Twillow Talk next week. What have you got going on?
Very nice. Tomorrow, I am doing Tuesdays with TarotStache exclusively on Jane the Secret Tarot. Then I have a live with Jamie. And then on Wednesday, I have 2 shows. One of those, I'm hosting Medium Betsy Palmer and Terry at Holding Your Space for channeled messages. So I'm looking forward to that. And just like and subscribe so that you can see what's coming up on the channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah. So our channels are down below here. There's Gerald's here. TarotStache.
Yep.
Twillow Lifestyle Community on the others. And don't forget Jen's there underneath. Gerald, My Holistic Self. And we're going to send tons of love to her and her family. So love and healing to them.
Yes.
And hopefully she will be back next week. And so we're just going to wish you all tons of love.
Absolutely.
And thank you all for joining us.
Yeah.
Jinx. No, we can't say that.
Oh, we can't?
Now I have to do a curse removal on you.
Oh, really?
And maybe you need to do one on me now. We remove all curses and all. There we go.
There you go.
Done.
Okay.
Intention is everything.
Ta-da! Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Awesome. So much fun. Thank you so much for coming and joining me today.
Glad you invited. I'm glad I was able to be here.
Awesome. And thank you all for joining us as well. And have an awesome week, everyone. See, Gerald, it's not just you.
Okay. There you go.
It is because I love you.
Yes.
Have an awesome week, everyone. And we shall see you soon. Take care.
Bye.